Apple reported $1.67 a share on revenue of $45.4 billion, both for the fiscal third quarter. It also sold 41 million iPhones last quarter. Joining us now, Mashable Deputy Technology Editor Michael Nunez is with us. Michael, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
What did you think of the Apple numbers? The stock is obviously coming up this morning, going to hit another all-time high.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised because the predominant view is that there was going to be a lull in sales. Everyone's sort of waiting for this iPhone 8. It's the 10-year anniversary of the iPhone. And so people are expecting radical new changes to this phone, to this product that everyone loves. And so the expectation was that people were going to buy fewer of these devices heading into the fourth quarter. The reality is that that's not the case. People are actually still buying a lot of iPhones, more than expected, and interest is really strong heading into the last quarter of this year.
Yeah, iPhones and iPads, I take it.
Yeah, what do you make of the comeback in iPad sales? So the shipments on the iPad were up 15%, and also Mac sales were strong. Can that continue? Because it certainly helps balance out the product mix.
I've seen a lot of warning calls that that the tablets were dead and that interest in the iPad has declined. But I guess I think what this shows is that the cheaper cost of the iPad is actually enough to spur sales, and people are actually interested in this product. It just might have been a little bit out of range.
I think part of the iPad sales is that they're cutting off software upgrades for if you have older versions, right? So I have one of the originals, I have a 2, so it's like I'm not getting any service on that. But I want to get...
Some of it is also sales into businesses and schools, so it's proactive sales, not just reactive behavior by customers.
But you know what we're not talking about? Apple TV, Apple Car. We're not talking about these things that are out there, but what's interesting is they're trying to get everyone to focus on this HomePod. And so I'd love to get your take on what you think that can do, because Apple was at the forefront with Siri. Now they're behind Alexa and the Echo. So what is your take on the HomePod?
Yeah, so I mean, artificial intelligence is going to be something that is that's continuously more pervasive, that we see across a lot of different products. So it's already used in things like Amazon.com and on Facebook, and like you mentioned, the Amazon Echo. With Apple, they're betting a lot on this artificial intelligent digital assistant, Siri, right? And the new form that it takes is in this smart speaker. The problem is that no one's been able to test this out. It's not in stores yet. And even with the initial launch, people weren't able to test and play around with this thing. So we don't really know how capable it is and how helpful it's actually going to be in everyday life.
The only time I've used Siri in the last year is literally to say to her, "I see a little silhouette of a man." Have you done that?
I have, yes, actually, yeah.
It basically spits out the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Siri's really good for jokes, but I think for everyday use,
that's my point.
It kind of fails to prove itself as something that's valuable.
Yeah, that's really interesting that they were first and they got their lunch eaten by Amazon. With Echo. That's really amazing. That's what happened to Sony too. They were first with the Walkman, only to get eaten. No, really. And they got their lunch eaten by Apple.
Well, here's the ironic thing, is that Amazon tried coming out with their phone, to combat this, and then they failed, and now they're leading in the front with the Echo and the AI.
And Michael, do you have any sense of what the new iPhone will offer?
Yes, so a few of the radical changes to the iPhone that people are expecting is something called a bezel-less display. So just a screen, a phone that's an entire screen. They'll get rid of the home button. Another technology is face scanning technology. So rather than using your fingerprint to unlock your phone, you might use your face in the near future. And also augmented reality. So they're going to add the expectation is that Apple will add a bunch of new features and possibly a better camera to enable you to overlay digital images onto the real world. So it sounds a little crazy, but it just means that you'd hold up your phone and you'd see things in the real world that aren't necessarily there. So like computer graphics, could be a robot, it could be a,
Should we buy the phone when it first hits the market, or should we wait to see if there are any, things that they need to fix?
I think that people are expecting the iPhone 8 to be a significant one of these milestone products for Apple.
And that comes out in September.
And it comes out in September. I think August 26th. Or no, sorry, the first week of September is
What about Tesla? The company reporting earnings after the bell tonight. The stock is down nearly 10% just in the last month on Tesla. The company is rolling out its Model 3. What do you expect from the earnings report, given Tesla's difficulty in terms of meeting production?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. You know, Tesla's in a much different scenario than Apple. I think there's a lot of uncertainties with Tesla. Obviously, they had the big rollout event last Friday, but you know, I think people are still uncertain about whether Tesla and Elon Musk will be able to ramp up production as significantly as they want to. So Elon has said he wants exponential growth in production. So that's up from 100 cars per month this month to 20,000 cars per month by the end of the year.
Yeah, when it comes to Model 3, they have 50,000 back orders, and I mean, the rave reviews are unbelievable. I mean, everybody loves this product, and it's for the mass market, right? So that's the whole point about this, and so that's why you see Tesla stock do so well, because it's forward-looking, and people do want this. And when you have 50,000 back orders, they do have to figure out the production, but people are willing to wait.
What's the hold up there? In other words, if you look at the supply chain, where's the problem they have to solve?
So I think there's a lot of things. You know, I think just making a car in general is actually pretty difficult. The tooling, the machinery that's involved. They're obviously building their own facility to get this done, and then the battery technology itself is actually pretty complicated. But you know, I think the cautious view is that the rave reviews are coming from a lot of employees and press members and people that get early access to the Model 3 because they bought a Tesla already. So these are dedicated fans, and they're less likely to be critical or speak up about some of the malfunctions or maybe some of the shortcomings of the Model 3. So, you know, the skeptic would say, you know, maybe look a little bit more closely at who has this product and who's.
I don't have a car. I've driven plenty. I drove a Tesla. I fell in love with it. If I were to get a car, it would be a Tesla.
Fantastic.
You love it too?
That's great. It's a great car.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there. Michael, great to see you. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Michael Nunez there.